What is up, everyone? It's your boy, another broken ass temple. Today, we're going to be talking about the state of the game of Fire Emblem Heroes, inspired particularly about the New York packs that we're getting in, was it Tuesday or something like that? Anyway, so for $75 wonderful dollars, you will be a proud owner of a 5-star unit and Grails and Stones, if you so desire. It is an absolutely disgusting setup that they suddenly decide to toss out of nowhere, and alright, they've kind of been money grubbing lately, and it's just Anyway, before we go about this whole thing, I just want to go and let everyone know, I've been hearing people talk about how we're whining about these things. Let me tell you something. The reason why I choose Berk as my co-host is because him, similar to me, are horrible people. We're 5-figure spenders. We can get anything we want. It doesn't matter. It's not like we're whining because we can't have anything. We can get it whenever we want. It's just that, the system lately has been very disgusting. We cannot support something like this. If we support something like this, we're sending the wrong message. We like this game. We love this game. We just can't let ourselves see this happen, to see the game continuously devolve. But anyway, we'll go into further details with that. So, once again, joining with me is my wonderful co-host, Berk! Now, let's talk about our topics at hand.
What's up? Let's do this.
Alright, so let's start things off with you. Tell me, what do you think about this whole recent debacle about all these packs of spending $75 for it? Quite the advantage on Aether raids. Aether raids that we thought that, was gonna save the game and all that. It was a new game mode, a breath of fresh air, but it turns out to be the fart of idiot system. Tell me, what do you think?
So, the packs are pretty disappointing. Not because I actually don't mind them putting Aether raids rewards in them. What really bothers me with the packs is the way they set them up with the prices. It's very specifically designed to target small spenders and make them spend more than they're wanting to spend. If you think about it like this, if you're free to play, as your name implies, you're not buying this pack. You're not going to spend. I don't see why this pack is going to convince you to pop your F2P cherry here. Not for $75. If you're a giant whale or you're sitting at the top of Aether Raids rewards, you may as well just write a minus 75 out of your bank account for this pack because you're going to be buying it. So these groups of people, they already knew the free plays are not going to buy it. The big spenders are going to buy it. They're really looking to try to make the small spender who might buy a pack here and there spend $75, which, by the way, for people who play this game and have bought orbs know, that is not the most efficient pack to buy. It is the $40 pack that is the most efficient to buy. They're trying to get those people who may or may not be buying the packs to get them, and $75 is much more than the normal person spends on a pack. So
but let me interrupt you for a second there. 75 is quite a bit of a stretch. If I was someone who is a dolphin or something who's planning on spending money, I would say that something a little more reachable, like $30 or $40, would be something that you may consider. When you're looking at a price like 75, it's kind of hard to actually consider unless you already have the mindset of a whale who spends money. Think for example, why is it that the Burger King pack is so popular? It's $5. It's not like $30. It's not like $75. It's not something that you have to seriously consider. Am I making a terrible decision here? Because you are. And that's what I'm saying. But seriously, $75 is a huge difference. It really will make people think. That's like a AAA game and then some. So I don't know.
You brought up a perfect point, because when I said F2Ps are not going to pop that cherry for this pack, you know what F2Ps did often pop their F2P cherry for? Is the Burger
King.
$5.
Yeah.
And he was very, very good at the time. I even made a free-to-play alt because I wanted to keep up with the free-to-play meta and things.
And you bought
I even bought that pack on that alt, and that was one of the only 2 times that I spent money on the game on that account. So it's technically not free to play anymore. But yes,
the moment you bought that, it's just not free to play anymore. But you know what? Who cares about that meaning? That
it was
meaning is
more
lost.
about being the meta of not all plus 10.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the feeling about, not having to spend money and being in a specific meta. Although, honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't buy that shit either. Because if you save up enough orbs and you actually get yourself a plus 10 unit, you have a plus 10 unit. It's not like where if you're spreading out spending money kind of free to play. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
Like those kinds of people. There are people out there that as soon as they get 20 orbs, they're like, oh my god, I have to spend it. I have to spend it. I have to spend it. I can't save any orbs. Why? That kind of people. I know these people. I don't know how what possesses them, but if they actually have the money to gamble, those are the worst types. You do not want to be like that. Absolutely not.
No, those people are. This game is even going in the worst direction for punishing those people with the tickets now, and your percent goes up, therefore I must clear it, and all these other things. But that does raise a point that I want to make right now, which is for the remainder of this, pretty much the remainder of this, we're going to be saying negative things about the game, that the game is just in decline, there's power creep, they're greedy. But there are going to be a lot of players out there who play this game casually. They're playing a couple minutes a day. They don't really give a crap about their either raids rank or their arena and arena assault scores. They just play the game because they want to play the basic modes, clear the story. Maybe they're waiting for their favorite unit to come along. They don't really care about anything else. They're going to save all their orbs, thousands and thousands of orbs. You see these posts all the time. I've been waiting for this unit, and now I have 2,500 orbs. I'm going to spend them all. It's the players that play like this. If you're playing the game casually, I still think this is a very good game, and I would recommend it for someone that wants to play casually. There are going to be tons of people out there that aren't vocal that play the game casually and are still enjoying it. So I don't want that to get lost. This game is not completely terrible, and that's why we're spending tons of time talking about it, because we still like and care about the game. If you want to play casually, Fire Emblem Heroes is a good game. When you're talking about from a competitive perspective, however, when you want to get top rank in either raids or arena or clear all abysmal difficulties, for those modes, the game has been going in a very bad direction for a long time, but I think over the past 6 months, it has gone very, very quickly in that wrong direction.
Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, it's not like I said, it's not like we can't afford to buy these things. We can do it all the time if we want to, but to support this kind of poor business decision, to keep letting them build power creeps upon power creeps, it's just not right. See, when a game decides that they're gonna keep asking for money like this, I put it like asking. Honestly, you're not forced to spend money. This isn't a game where you're forced to spend money, but they just keep kind of keep asking for money like this and that and this and that. When a game does that, it tends to say that, oh, we're declining. We're like going into bankruptcy. It makes me have that feeling because I've been through a lot of these gacha games before, and when a game is starting to decline, they will try to bait you into spending as much money as you can and then pass away. It's just a typical behavior with gacha games, and I'm seeing it with Fire Emblem Heroes right now. It's not necessary because the game is not going to die. I don't think it's ever going to die because it's being completely fueled by a very popular fan base, which is Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is a very popular series, and it's keeping this game alive. If this game is not Fire Emblem, it would have died long ago. To be perfectly honest, I would not have even played, but it was a Fire Emblem. It was Fire Emblem, and everybody likes it. I hear this explanation all the time. It's like, oh, I wouldn't play this game if it wasn't Fire Emblem. It makes perfect sense to me. So, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that this game is, I wouldn't say it's dying. It's going into decline. But they can still fix things. I have hope for this. I really don't want them to just keep doing these stupid packs and stuff like that, not even thinking about balancing the game, because I'm a very competitive guy, alright? But even now, I don't care about Aether raids. When I thought Aether raids was gonna be like the thing, I was going to spend a lot of time on it. And, you know, when we first started, we spent a lot of time making our defense teams to be as gay as possible, to ruin people's days. It was a lot of fun. We could spend like 2 hours just sitting there and playing around with our defenses. But now that feeling is gone. The new toy that we have is ruined because they decided to make it into a pay-to-win system. It was not necessary. It was a nice breath of fresh air. It was a good system, and here they are ruining it with ears, and now they're gonna allow us to buy stones. This is not going to be the first and last time. There's going to be more. There's going to keep having. I'm willing to bet. I mean, we're already talking about before. Like, there could be monthly packs where they offer up grails. I did not expect them to actually offer up stones this time around. Stones is very, very important at the moment, because it really it's basically your progress in Aether raids, and I mean, eventually everything will even out once everybody's buildings are maxed, but that's a while. There's a reason why they give us so few stones right now, so that, you know, it's a game that lasts a while. But now they're all doing this. Like, come on, man. We had a good competitive atmosphere. It was a good game, and now it's ruined. Now what am I going to do? It's like the last game mode that I thought I would truly enjoy is kind of like, well, I mean, I'm probably still gonna enjoy it. I'm still gonna make videos of my Aether raids. It's just that it's just a shitty feeling. I'm not going to spend $75 on that. I'm one of those guys. I don't know. I mean, like, Berk and I were the same people who like spend 5 figures, but we stopped spending. We're like one of these people who contributed to the recent recent decline in sales for Fire Emblem Heroes. They went from whatever, was it 17 mil, which is 13 mil? I don't even remember it anymore. It was a little bit ago.
Yeah, people can defend the game blindly, whatever, and I don't think the game is actually dying. But if you don't think the game is on decline, then you have blinders on, because everything comes down to money. And if you look at their money that they're making, the last 2 months, the monthly revenue they made is substantially less than they've made for the entire duration of this game, and even much less than they made earlier in the year, where they were still making back in February or even in the summer. They were making 18, 19, 20 million in revenue a month. 13 million is a gigantic drop-off from that, and you can bet your ass that they care about that, and that is why they're pushing. I mean, they obviously want to hit targets at the end of the year anyway. That's why you saw last Christmas they had their, you know, Power Peak armor banner, and someone that I'm talking to might have tried to get a bold fighter, and some things might have happened.
That gave me so much brain damage. 6 crumbs? What, are you serious? 6 crumbs in one listen? What? That was the worst. That was the lowest point in my entire summoning career. But you can see, though, when I was summoning, it doesn't matter to me. $40, I'm done. 75 orbs done. Another $40, another $40, another $40. It doesn't matter to me, because I can keep spending all day if I really so desire. It's just, you know, now it's gotten to the point that I can't condone this kind of business behavior, and they just keep. It's like they're beggars. I don't understand. Like, what happened? Why are they like? They could have been doing perfectly fine if they've just, you know, done what they've been doing, or, you know, more quality of life changes and such like that. More Burger King packs, for example. That also would be very nice. But no, they gotta keep. They're pushing for a small, short-term gain. Well, I wouldn't call them small. They're actually pretty sizable, considering how much people spend on banners and such. But they've been really pushing for short-term gains rather than something more long-term. It's like overgrazing. Yeah.
They're trying to squeeze every last penny out of the small and spenders and dolphins that they can, and instead of just fixing some of the core problems of the game, which I think would actually have brought spenders like us just back into just regularly spending because we actually want to spend, instead of doing that, they are just trying to milk everything that they can, and it's not a good sign to me. I'm finding that, talked about power creep, the other big problem that they have in the game right now is that they are not demoting units anymore at all. Do you even remember the last demoted unit we have? Because I pulled this up. I was looking at this earlier. I'm curious. Do you remember the last unit we had that was demoted in this game?
Oh my god, dude. It could be Sylvia. It could be Sylvia.
It was Silas. But do you know how long ago that banner was?
It must have been like 3 to 4 or 5 months from now.
It's 3.5 months. We have not had a single unit enter the demoted pool in 3.5 months. If you look earlier in the year, though, there was a consistent trend, like before, of it wasn't necessarily every banner, but close to it. Someone would demote, and we had good demotes. And I'm talking earlier this year. We had Soth demote into the 4-star pool for life and death. We had one which I think may still be the best demotion they've ever made, and I'm still surprised that they did it. And if they put a unit out like this now, there's a 0% chance they would demote them. They demoted Legault with attack tactic into the 4-star pool. That was incredible. That was also this year. They don't demote units like that anymore. Now, is this the trend moving forward? I'm really praying not, but we're talking not one banner. We have 3.5 months of no demotions. That means people that want to merge these units, sorry, you better get them now or on a legendary banner. That means if it has a great skill you want, like a special spiral or whatever, you better pull them now or on a legendary banner, because they're not demoting units anymore. And it's not even just a problem that's going to affect free-to-play and small spenders. This affects whales too, because they like skills and they're going to summon for them when they can, but when nothing gets demoted anymore, now they have to spend more of their resources summoning for skills and not just for new units.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole pool itself is already very bloated as it is. Even at the very beginning of the game, you remember, you heard about that guy, right, who spent like over $1,000 and get Hector. That was like the very beginning of the game when there was like no Hector manner. But the point is that the pool has been very bloated. There's a lot of Fire Emblem heroes. There's a lot of heroes. So I really think that they should finally start segregating the pools or do something, because just demoting itself might not even be enough, because there's going to be so many 4-star heroes already. Your chances are, I remember somebody actually made a thing before about how your chances of getting an Al-Qaeda and your chances of getting a Laevatain is actually better, because there's so many 4-star reds already. Well, 3-star reds as well. So it's actually very hard to get Qaeda. It's a really bloated pool. We need to find some quality of life changes to this. I mean, I really liked what they did with the whole IV changes. That was really cool, even though they ended up making it into a marketing thing where you have to get one merge, but it is a good solution. It helps both sides.
Because it's never an amount that you're going to have to spend a ton. Like, you just need to get one copy of the unit to fix your IV. And yes, they're incentivizing you to spend, but it's not. I think the big positives of getting rid of that minus attack Bane when you have it or something like that outweighs the fact that you have to summon one copy. The stale pool, however, is something that they have to fix, and that when you combine power creep and this, it just becomes less exciting for people. If you think about this, they've been showering us with feathers, but feathers are actually losing value over time. Based on them not demoting any units, feathers are inherently becoming worse. Every time you finish another unit, you have less units in the pool than before, and your feathers continue to be worse than they were. I can't even look at my count because I uninstalled, but I have so many 11 copies of units that I planned to build right before I stopped my heavy spending. Tons of them. And Seliph would be a good one now with this forge, but Sophia, Bowie, even like Virion, Leon, I have tons of these units that I wanted to build because I had thought of an interesting build to make for them. But when I look at the builds that I had made back 8 months ago, they're all crap now. I don't want to make any of these units anymore because the power creep is so high that the builds just don't work. They don't do what I want them to do anymore. So you might think, okay, well, I can just let's summon some more, and I'll get a new set of units that I want to make builds for. But they haven't demoted almost anyone relevant that I want to make. It's the same pool. So when you combine these things together, there's just less value with all the feathers they're showering us in, and quite frankly, that drives people away. I don't think we're the only one that wants to make cool builds and make interesting characters and build up a Bowie with 50 defense, stuff like that. But if they're not going to make changes and they're going to continue to push out 5-star exclusive units and never demote things, and you have the same crappy pool, there's just less exciting things to do anymore.
We need that skill refinery pretty badly. I don't want to be sacrificing these cliffs that I get. What if I like cliff? Then what am I gonna do? Well, I mean, I'm kind of neutral about cliff, but I want that fortress dev res. I want it so bad on Dr. Chakra. I'm not gonna be able to get it. The only thing I could get is fortress dev.
When I got that mini break, when I was pulling on that Hero Fest, and I got a blue 5-star, and it was Cliff over Ophelia. That was like the best thing I could have possibly gotten, and immediately my wrist ate that. Skill refinery would be something that would bring me back, because then I would have new interesting builds to make again, because the new skills are such power creep that there's fun things you can do. I mean, we just got that C slot that does +7 attack. I mean, if I can forge that, yeah, you bet your ass I'm going to do it. Fortress Defense Res, the 4 version, I'm going to make tons of those if I can. Put them on all sorts of units. Lots of units love that. So a skill forge would very much help with the issue I was talking about of exclusivity and them not demoting things, because then you can make new builds and use new skills without having to summon. I mean, they can make the cost feathers or stones, whatever, I don't care. As long as it's not orbs, then that will definitely help out with the problem of not demoting.
Well, I mean, Grails itself was a solution to this problem. Except, well, you know, it turns out that Aether raids turned out to be kind of... It got gay, shall we say. But Grails you can still get, despite the fact that you're not in, like, top ranks or anything. You'll still get a good steady amount, so you can still build things. I just don't like the idea that Grail units cost stacks up, scales so high. It's like what, 100, 200, and then like 500 Grails and something like that. It's
crazy. It's a super steep cost. But half or maybe more of the GHB units and limited Tempest Trial units were from an era well before this power creep. There are many of them that, look, if that's your favorite unit, then you're going to build them. Doesn't matter if you want that female Robin, whatever. That good. I'm glad you're loving Aether Age. You're going to get your Grails. You're going to build them. But if you're looking to make something cool and interesting, the first year's worth of limited units, other than maybe Burger King, were just not very good, and they've been so power crept that they're simply not that strong anymore. I mean, there are definitely exceptions, but if you look at, like, you want to build something cool that's strong and relevant, that's going to be able to fight a Surtur or any of the other crap that's coming out now, you need the newer ones. You need a Versa or the Halloween Mutton, or some of these new ones, maybe Arden, because he had those stupid stats when they designed him that probably was never designed to be +10. But the old units, they're just not that strong anymore. So I feel like even for Grails, there's a limited, like, once you've gotten a couple of these done, your favorites or strong ones, it's going to start to once again decline with the pool. I guess they'll continue to add the new ones in, so there's that to fight against it, because you know the new units are so much stronger, so there'll be 1 or 2 added every cycle that's strong, and you can work towards those. So yeah,
it's really unfortunate, because the game itself, you have stuff like Grand Blade from an Age of Forgotten. It was created because the developers were kind of new to the game and all that, so they created stuff like Grand Blade. But they also created some really crappy units, and that's what happens with these Grand Hero Battles units. They're like really crappy. I wish that there's ways to make them better. Right now, Generation 1 units just don't get any love whatsoever, except from Weapon Refinery. If they get a good Weapon Refinery, great! If they don't, like what happened in Takumi, they become fodder, or they have no use whatsoever, because there are units that literally have no fodder potential. There's a lot of Gen 1 units that are like that. And you know what? Some of them are our favorite units. Like Spring Crom, for example. I thought he was cool, but he's also really shitty now.
Back then, though, his attack stat was high, dude. He had very good attack, just alone. Just his attack didn't even matter the rest of his stats. Back when he released, his attack was good. He was great. I put like a brave weapon on him. I think he could hit in the upper 50s or something with some buff. It was like he was good, but now his attack stat is just merely average.
Well, such is life. Such is life.
How about OG Lin? She was obviously bad for much of this game because her defiant skills are crap, and that's another skill I expect to get power creep with a rank 4 version. That's going to be very good, but she got a forge. It was pretty sweet. It was Brash Assault plus Desperation built in at 75%, which is better than you can get with skills. And when that forge came out, it was great. She was fixed. She had a new role. You could run a million B slots, basically, if you think about it. But take a look at Lin now and see if she can even kill Surtur. Because without massive help from buffs and summoning support and all of his other stuff, she's not going to do it. She's just going to die. So she just does not have the attack to kill him.
Pretty funny.
It's sad, but
a red unit cannot defeat a green unit because the green unit is so power crept that you can't use a red unit to beat them. It's so deplorable.
Yeah. I was forced to build Wrath, and I just all sorts of. I had to warp my Lin build, and this was a couple months ago before Surtur, just to get kills on any of the other greens like Legendary Hector and things like that. I had to warp my build. Now she can't kill the stuff now, so I can go off and name tons of these units at the beginning of the forge cycle when they just started that got forges. Curious George. You can go back and look at them. They're not good anymore. They help them. But the power creep is so rampant that the help isn't enough. They need to help. They need to ramp up. They need to power creep their help for old units is what they need to do.
Yes, indeed. They really need to go back into it. I don't think that is an unprofitable choice. There are people who actually have these Gen 1 units, and they will actually spend a little bit of resources. I mean, not like a huge chunk, because that's crazy. Because they've already gotten the unit plus 10 already. So they just want something to make their units relevant again. I mean, look, I have more than 40 plus 10 units. And I think Berk has like 50 or just under 50, I think. We have a lot of units. And the problem is that most of them we don't even use.
I have 52
anymore.
now.
We don't use most of them anymore. Only my healers I'm still using, and you know what? They're actually outdated healers. They're not like super strong healers. They're like they're like things you see in the regular pool. I mean, Maria is still pretty good, but I mean, like I wouldn't say she's great. I have I didn't even build Lucius because he has Pain Plus, so I can't do that. But I did build Asama. But these guys are not like great units. They're like Gen 1 units.
Great to make janky.
They're just for jankiness, exactly. Carried by Pain Plus. It's really terrible.
I mean, they're PvE champions. I'll give you that. You just auto battle with them. You take off their weapon, and they get to 40 with 5+ whatever, and the AI can't even touch them. So Riss has been my best unit trainer for things for a very long time. But in terms of like trying to kill something in arena, he can just hit them to 1.
Well, I mean, I did manage to make some adjustments, thankfully, to my 6 Paths of Pain Plus, so I still murder people in the Aether raids, and I will have to make a video on that. I still haven't done that yet, but I will do it soon. If I'm not working every day for some stupid reason lately, I will do such a thing. I'll find time. After this, I will find time. Oh, damn, we still have so many other things to do. We still got Dragalia Lost to do. Oh, God, why did I even start that game? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Faye made me tired, so I had to go and try a new game. But I don't even know why I started playing Dragalia Lost. I think it got really hyped up by people who were already playing Fire Emblem Heroes already. And those guys were looking for a new game. That's how I got sucked into it. And it turned out it's actually a pretty decent game.
despite the fact that the summoning rates are so bad.
It's another can of worms.
Fire
That's
Emblem
another
Heroes summoning rates compared.
But at the very least,
now.
the things we
But
summon.
They have Dragalia has something that highlights another issue in Fey, which is they incorporate feedback very quickly into their game and they communicate it to you. We get like a monthly post from the developer of the game saying, "Hey, here are the changes that are coming soon. This is the feedback we've been getting from you guys. Here's what we're doing about it." Or in some cases, they're like, "We are planning to fix this problem, but we don't have a solution for it yet. But we want to let you know we're thinking about one, and as soon as we figure it out, we will tell you." They communicate with their players, and I think it's because I've been told that's how Cygames works. But if intelligent systems learned from this and did this and communicated with the players instead of
let me interrupt you here, because they actually did do that in the beginning of the game. Remember when everyone was like up in arms about how devs actually cared about us? Like, ooh, wow, they're so great, everything is awesome, they're giving us compensation orbs, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I saw that a lot. It was like on the front page of Reddit for a bit. Everybody was singing IS's praises. They were talking about how this is, because it happened after the age of Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go was a massive disappointment after like a week. So people were happy about Fire Emblem Heroes, and the devs actually did respond to us for a good while. But then all of a sudden, there was this radio silence. All of a sudden, we have this Aether incident. I feel like they must have like fired like most of the staff to keep maximizing their income and just change the system in a way so that they just maximize however income that they can. It makes no sense why they're doing such a thing, but that would explain why we don't hear much from the devs anymore.
Yeah, they certainly were much more on top of things back then. I just remember I don't even know if it was direct communication, but they certainly fixed problems much more swiftly back then. And the quality of life changes they were rolling out nonstop, like the Feather Gain, all the UI changes that we've gotten, they just seemed to be able to respond to things much more quickly. Now, it takes forever, and people say like, "Oh, we're sick of these alts, blah blah blah." Well, like, look, they've known that for months, but they plan out 8-10 months of banners in advance when they, weren't thinking about that feedback from us, and that's why we keep seeing it. It's not that they don't know; it's that they can't react quickly anymore because of their model. That doesn't mean they shouldn't have said in a notice to people, "We've received feedback that players like to see more new units than alts, and in our plans moving forward, we plan to make more new units and fewer alternate versions." They could have said that, and they should have said that, and that would have made me happier. That when I see a new alt banner come out, I'm like, okay, this was already designed. I know that for sure, because their new designs aren't going to be this anymore. But they don't even think to do that kind of thing.
Though. Like, remember when we had that interview a year or two ago?
Oh,
yeah. Power creep is something that we're working towards to fix. They didn't. So, I mean, even if they were to promise things now, I think their words weigh little. Right now, they're just kind of saying, "Hey, look, Binding Blade is coming in March. Hey, look, in February, IVs are going to change. Hey." They're telling us things in advance because they don't want us to jump ship. But, I mean, look, if this game was still new and they're still making developmental problems, I can understand. But this game is nearly 2 years old. It's been a while already. They should not have planned it like this. They already know, and yet they still do it. That's the problem here.
What you just said also are only some. You just said this banner's coming, these units are coming. Yeah, and those are both things that people are excited about, but that's more summoning again. This is not fixing the problems with the game. It's not, "Hey, we realize people hate Arena and the change we made. We're planning to address that." Or
it'll work for those casuals we talked about, though. It'll work for those casuals.
No, and that's why, like I said at the very beginning of this, if you play Fire Emblem Heroes casually, this is still a very good game, and if I had the capacity to enjoy this game as a casual, open it, play the new story maps, use my Nino and my Riss and all the other characters I love, and then just log off, then yeah, I would be still playing this game for sure. But I'm too competitive and I'm in too deep to try to play the game like that.
Sadness too. That is indeed what happened. Like I want to think of this game as a game, not just a waifu collector. For some people, that's all it is to them. Like I've seen people say, "Oh, I quit the game," but hey, if Cliff comes back to the game, I'll come back. And Cliff came back to the game. They came back as if nothing ever happened. And like as soon as a new hero comes, as soon as Beast Heroes comes, they act. It's like, oh, hey, nothing bad ever happened. It's like when they saw the New Year's units just now. Some people are like, they're really happy about it. It's almost as if nothing bad ever happened. Like Azura didn't just happen, you know? But it did. Azura did happen. But some people just kind of get distracted and forget about it. And guess what? Hey, look, now here's another horrible thing. Here's a pack that you can buy. Some people are even considering it. But if it doesn't have their waifus, like this guy is like, oh, Hirit is not in that pack. It's shit. But you know what? I bet your ass if Hirit is in it, you would have spent $75 on it and you would have bought it like that.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are like that, that's great though. They can enjoy the game in that capacity. But there are many people that can, and there are many people that can't. And I know the competitive players, and it doesn't even just go across spending. You can take a look at, for example, Acarus, who has quit his paying account and is playing solely on his free-to-play and getting the maximum scores and everything free-to-play. You can be a small spender of free-to-play and be competitive. So this point is not just about spending. For the people who want to play the competitive modes, regardless of your spending, the changes are not good right now. Everything is going downhill. So for those that just want to play casually and wait, and you got your dude, I'm excited about beast units. I love there are a lot of beast units that I want. I want Vika, I want Selkie. I mean, I would have been very excited for these, but that's not enough for me because I care about doing interesting builds. And for me, I think it's going to take the skill forge to bring me back and excited. It's not going to be. I don't think I have any favorites left that I care about so much that that would actually bring me to play the game again just for this unit, despite all the things we just talked about.
Luckily for me, I can come up with brain damage stories. Using my mental illness, I forget completely about the fact that there was a meta and just pump out a silly build and with a silly story and have fun with that. That's my sole existence in this game, the fact that I'm a Feytuber. If I'm not a Feytuber at all, I would have just quit and I would have never came back. Never looked back again. That would have been the end of it. But I, incidentally am, and I still have like a million stories I gotta tell. Dude, I got like this Veronica story I gotta do and I still haven't done it yet. It's absolutely deplorable.
Yeah. There's also like, well, let's take me since I'm in your position, but not we're podcasting, but I don't have to create content if I don't want to. There was a big sunk cost fallacy for me that took me a while to actually decide I'm going to stop playing, because when you spend 5 figures on a game, you don't want to give it up easily. But since I stopped playing, I haven't really felt regret or like I need to play the game, because the game became work. I wake up on Monday, I have to do Arena and Arena Assault. I didn't do them yet. I missed Aether Rays because it was a stupid reset on Sunday, which they now changed, by the way, but it's ridiculous. Things became a chore, and it's a game I want to play for fun. So, yeah, that's the sunk cost fallacy is a fallacy for that reason. I have Dragalia and other things to play. I don't feel obligated to play a game that feels like work.
Yeah, that's it. Although we were having that talk before, you're not even gonna go back to get Legiorn. I mean, Legiorn's hot. You just have to do some Tempest trials to get her.
Yeah, no, a skill forge would be interesting, because I would love just building new. I have so many, dude. With so many plus 10 units that I can change builds on with all the new skills, would be exciting for me alone. That would keep me playing for a very long time.
Well, I hope that's the case. I mean, even with like Weapon Refinery, it took them a little while before they started rolling more and more units. In the beginning, what did we have? We have the Seleth and Julia thing, which, funny enough, we're now getting another round of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right in the beginning it was just them. And now it's them again! Yeah! Because the power creep has caused the necessity. Honestly,
pretty much.
Yeah, Julia should have had that adaptive thing since the beginning. Although we have no proof, I'm fairly certain that adaptive thing is probably what they're gonna fix. Fairly certain.
Or I could see them doing some kind of strange. What's the guy's name? Julius, where he's got that.
Oh, that
interesting
stupid thing where you where you take less damage. It's like what, -7 dev or something like that if you're dragon. If you're not fighting against something who's dragon effective or something like that.
Yeah, that's I'd like that kind of thing. That's cool.
Yeah, unique abilities are nice. We need more of those. Less power creep, more unique abilities.
Less of the let's just slap that mixed bond of +5 speed and attack if you're near flyer and infantry. Like they've done that so many times now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one of their ways of fixing the stat problem, but honestly they could just fix it straight up. Look, I've even talked about this like millions of times. They could have like these adventurer stories that we have in Regalia Lost, a little story mode for like these Gen 1 units that they can do to boost their stats by like 3 to 4 or 5 points so that they can actually be like with the same stats as the Gen 2 units, something to even the playing field. Or you can allocate these stats. Oh my god, can you imagine being able to allocate stats? Holy crap, you can like make your own units practically. It would be very interesting. That's actually kind of one of the things I liked about IVs, is because you can kind of tailor your character a bit, because you can use the IVs to tailor it around. Well, if you can do that with the extra Gen 1 to Gen 2 stats, that would be kind of sweet. I would have liked that.
Absolutely, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would have put a lot of value into my Selena. I would have. I don't know what I'm gonna do with her. To be honest, I like her stats as it is. I'll probably put in more in Dev and Res, or maybe more speed. But yeah, you know, being able to customize your units, but only for Gen 1 units, not for Gen 2. They gotta have to bridge the Gen 1, Gen 2 thing. They can't just like have these things where it buffs all the units. They gotta give Gen 1 and just Gen 1 some love, instead of like, you know, not doing anything at all. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, that's what I would do. For Gen 1 units, I would give them this kind of stat forge type thing. There are definitely a couple Gen 2 units that have the extra BST but still are bad. For them, I would give them a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. But anyway.
They're not going to do it, though.
Yeah, they're not. But so, is there anything else you want to cover for today? I feel like we've covered most of the grounds.
I think we were just touching on it, because I think when we talk about the state of the game and how it's declining, like talking about things they can do to combat the power creep and the other problems would be good. We were just talking about the, doing a stat fine. We obviously would like the skill forge. That would be nice. I think fixing the pools, either whether they want to do mass demotion or just do some straight up big massive change of rarities again, like they did last.
They need a segregation. They need to have like specific like pools, like say a Gen 1 pool, or hey, a pool that only has reds, something like that. Something to separate the units a bit, because there's how many heroes now? 150, 180? I don't even know anymore at this point. At this point, it's like Pokemon. It's like after like the first few generations of Pokemon, there's like so many that I don't even recognize some of them.
There's way too many now. I would like to see them do a separate banner. And now you don't play Faker in Order, so I'll just briefly explain what they have. They have what's called this friend point summon, where every day you get a free one, but the pool is like only the 1 to 3 star things. It's like the low rarities. So you're not getting a 5-star from it. But if they did something like that in Fire Emblem Heroes, where you got a free summon every day and you can get a 3 or 4 star, and get, especially if they fix the pools and make more relevant units into the 3 and 4 star pools, I think that something like that would be great, because you give people much better access to try and get something quickly, like in the 3 to 4 star pool that might be useful for them.
Yeah, this is actually something that's in other gachas as well. The friend point summon. I like that a bit because then we get to see 1-star units again. Ooh boy, the only way we can get 1 stars at the moment is from doing that stupid quest that is like long obsolete. That's like something way in the beginning of the game. Though some of those units are still very good, like Felicia, for example. Felicia is awesome. I love Felicia. I can't wait to build her at some point. But
Mystic Boost.
Things happen. Right now, my interest in the game is kind of low, but I'm still playing. It'll just take me a little bit longer than usual to build things because I forget to do Aether raids. I don't even do battles sometimes because I fell asleep. And then I'm like, I might not have gotten past this tier yet. Oh, no. You miss, like, I'm at a point where if you miss, like, one battle, you're screwed. You're done. You're not getting another tier. You're done. But at the very least, though, around those tiers, the rewards are not that big a difference. The only difference that you'll get is, like, 2 or 4 stones or like 2 or 4 grails. It's not a big deal. Well, the main problem is that the fact that these New York packs are now out, that you can just jumpstart this whole thing. It's so dumb. It's like, this is like pride and accomplishment in EA levels, man. Can't have that.
I remember when I was like still pretty high up in Aether Raids tier when I was playing. A friend on my list was like 500 points behind me. Which, if you're playing competitively, that's a very big gap to catch up on. And then he passed me in 3 days, and I was thinking, how could this possibly happen? And then I looked at his list, and he's leading a +10 year, and I'm like, oh, that's how he passed me.
Oh, God. I mean, like, alright, even like free-to-play players, right? If you have those ears, you're good. But if you're not lucky to get those ears, you are done. Finished. You have no points. Like, I don't even use my ears. To be perfectly honest, I didn't even use the free one because I don't like the system. I don't want to give light blessing to guys I've already have with other blessings already because then I would have to put them back on again. They could have at least given them 2 slots for it. But
you don't like overwriting your prior blessings and just self-consuming and cannibalizing your own.
Then I would have to keep doing it, and I'm gonna run out.
Yeah, which is why I'm glad. At least it seems like they're going to let them stack, maybe, with the blessings. We'll see about that. But, yeah, that was another poor design.
Exactly. I mean, they could have at least let us swap around. That would have been kind of cool. But nah, we're not going to do that. So my ear doesn't really get much use. Not that it matters, because I'm currently playing free-to-play at the moment. But I don't have any luck right now. My luck has been used in Dragalia Lost. But I mean, like, I see people brag all the time. It's like, oh, I'm so good at free-to-play. Well, yeah, great, because you got lucky. You got, like, more than 1 year. It's like, psh, dude, it doesn't matter. This game it's actually a very easy game. As long as you have some luck, you get the tools you need, it's actually a very easy game. But hey, what if I don't? Well, then you're screwed. That's the problem. That's the problem with EAR right now. We didn't need that for Aether raids. We don't need something like that in a competitive game. It should be all skills, not, oh, I summon a couple characters by luck and now all of a sudden I'm ahead. Or I have a lot of money and all of a sudden I'm ahead. Look, I have money. I can spend if I want to, but I'm not going to support that kind of system. No way, no how. Never, ever.
Yeah, that's why I liked the tactic drills when they first came out, because it was a game mode of pure skill. I mean, I understand that it's more like a puzzle than it is like an actual like game mode of like arena or something. But if you can't solve it, that's completely on you. I don't care if it's intuitive, unintuitive. There's no random gacha or random RNG, anything in that mode. You solve it based on your own logic, or you don't. And obviously, if you're lazy or don't care, you can wait for Lubu or any of the other content creators to just put up the solution, and you can just get free stuff for doing nothing. So that is just a pure mode of only skill or just your own ability is something that this game's been lacking for a long time. And we had something like that with Aether raids for, what, was it even a month?
2 weeks, like maybe. 2 weeks, maybe. Oh my god.
Yeah, very disappointing. I loved seeing all of the small spender or even free-to-plays that were like way high up on the rankings, because they were loving it. I mean, being able to compete with the top whales and be up there based on skill, it was just exciting. It was exciting for me as a whale to see that. So, yeah, but that's not the case anymore. And I'm hoping that they down the road realize that they should have at least one mode in this game that is purely skill based and competitive, unlike Pack Girls, a competitive skill based mode, like what Aether Raids was for the first month. And that would keep a lot of players interested.
What a mistake. They keep making bad decisions after bad decisions. It's like they're superpowers now. their special ability is to make bad decisions.
Their ability is the greed monk.
I know, seriously. Like, this is perfect. Everything was fine. It was great. Then they ruined it. Why?
Well, I would say that there was starting to become an issue with the meta, and the people started to figure out that cancerous horse team in the corner of the spring map. So I think something did have to be done about that, but
they could easily fix the maps. They didn't have to do anything else.
That's exactly it. There's an easy fix for that. It's not like, oh, Aether Raids broke because meta sucks. Like they can fix that problem.
But this, you can't reverse. You cannot reverse this. You can't just say, oh, we can't have ear anymore. You cannot just do that. That's not right.
No going back. No going back. Yeah, it's
Aether Raids is done.
I remember when we were watching the video, the trailer, the launch of 3.0, and they said, introducing Mythic Heroes, and how both of us were just like, no.
That was the worst. Look, they had a Fae channel for Aether Raids, just for Aether Raids, by the way. There was nothing else. But at the very least, people had hope. It was great. But now, introducing Mythic Heroes!
I mean, Nino's a Mythic Hero in my heart.
Yeah,
which is people have favorites, and people that play casually or they want their favorites. That's who they want. They don't care if it's called a mythic hero or a legendary hero. Making these heroes that are special or power crept and have these abilities just goes against fundamentally that people want to just get their favorites. So that's another thing I'm hoping they change moving forward, is to stop making these special brand heroes. Just make normal heroes.
Yeah, no. Let me interrupt for a second. Like, can you imagine like summoner support, but instead of that, you like mythical support? Like you turn that hero into a mythical hero. Now, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind spending a little orbs to do that in order to turn my hero into a mythical hero. Well, okay, that sounds stupid as fuck as it is. I don't want that crap in my Aether Raids. But still, can you imagine something like that though?
That would be interesting because you can take your favorite and you can just turn them into, the mythic hero and get whatever bonus. I think there could be some issues with it, obviously, like if you're playing Arena and then like you have to check every unit. Oh, is this a mythic Nino or a regular Nino? But I still think that the benefits would probably be there to have people take their favorite and make them really.
Yeah. But anyway, we should probably stop soon. Is there anything else you've got to add for today?
No, that pretty much covers it. I think if you've gotten to the end of this,
somehow
you somehow made it. You can tell we still care about the game, so we're not just crapping on the game because we don't like the game. We are spending an hour and a half, whatever length this is at this point, because we like the game and we want the game to be good. So this is out of concern and care for the game, not like just, trash talking it for no reason.
Yep. Anyway, and with that, I thank you all for joining us today. Until next time.